After a short journey from Forest Lodge, the 4 healthy dogs arrive at Paul's practice. He's allowing our cameras in because he wants to show the reality of what happens to discarded pets. His staff find it so distressing, Paul works without them.
Is the dog feeling any pain?
No pain, no, it's asleep in fact already. Just lie down. He's gone off to sleep. And we just check that the little dog has passed away. Sometimes there's a little bit of wagging the tail or a little bit of movement afterwards because the heart is still going but the brain is anaesthetised.
Weird, you just saw the life drain out of this dog over the space of about, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And you see it there, its ears up, its eyes open, it looks almost like it fell over. It's a harsh thing to see, but this is the result of the way we treat too many dogs in this country. Britain's biggest animal charity, the RSPCA, is feeling the pressure too, and is also speaking more openly.
Last year, 2009, we killed 533 healthy dogs. And you'll notice I used the word kill there rather than put to sleep or humanely euthanize. There's been enough euphemism. We really need to tell it how it is, and we really need to start doing something to prevent it having to happen in the future.
And the RSPCA has chosen a controversial path. Unlike Battersea, it will no longer accept unwanted dogs from the public.
We're saying to members of the public that rather than be completely open door to every single request for the RSPCA to take an animal in, we'll stop, we'll question, and we may push back a little. We want to be able to make sure that the worst cases can find accommodation in our animal centres, and at the moment, on too many occasions, they can't because we've said yes to a member of the public who's brought the animal in because it doesn't match the furniture or the curtains.
The problem is now so acute that the RSPCA, Battersea and the Met Police in London want the government to act.
I think the most important thing that we would like to see is some kind of traceability back from a dog to someone at the other end of the lead.
We've said licensing is a way forward. Actually have an annual licence for dogs where dogs are microchipped and the owners are required every year to keep the details up to date.
I am not convinced that a dog licence is the way forward, but again, I'm open-minded. I will look at the evidence. We've had licence in the past, and we all know what happened to that. There's a great deal of non-compliance. In fact, I think by the end of the old dog licence, very few people were taking them out at all. What are you going to achieve if all you've done is taxed the responsible owner and not caught the irresponsible owner?
While the government takes time to consider what to do about irresponsible owners, for many more dogs, time has run out. Often their last hope is a small band of volunteers.
Some people do hold a gun to your head and say if you're not here by 12 o'clock tomorrow, you know, these dogs will be going to the vets. If we don't get there, then those dogs' lives end.
It's as simple as that. Get here or the dog gets here, in effect.
Absolutely.
Chris Whippy rescues dogs that are about to be destroyed. Today he's been called to a pound near Coventry. The charity he works for, Doris Banham, promises to rehome every dog it collects, but it can take years.
So what are we getting from here?
So we're picking up 6 dogs from here.
6 dogs?
Yeah, 5 staffies and a Rottweiler.
Oh, yeah, that shows you the volume of the problem, doesn't it?
So yet more staffies.
Here's another one.
Another staff.
Hello.
And one of them doesn't look well.
This one looks a bit different.
Young hello. This dog may have something else
Underlying
going on with him.
But you know it's at saturation point when you phone the charities and say, can you take some stray dogs to save them being put to sleep, and they're having to say, no, we're full.
So more dogs are being put to sleep?
Yeah.
But you're in no doubt that you're having to mop up more unwanted dogs?
We are. It's exactly what we're doing. We are a clean-up process. But where does it end?
The dogs are being taken to kennels where the job of trying to rehome them will begin. How are you getting on?
This probably is one that's going to need to see a vet fairly soon. She eats well, but she's not put no weight on at all. It's been really going
that spine, can't
yeah.
Got any lice or fleas or...
What do you want to be called, little one?
Want to be a Millie.
Millie? Okie dokie.
No longer a number, she's now got a name.
There's no real duty of care attached, apparently, in this country to owning a dog. There's more responsibility attached to owning a television set than there is a living, sentient creature. And if you fall out with it, if you don't like it, if it doesn't match your furniture anymore, then you can kick it out or just give it to someone else and they'll accept and take the responsibility for it.
As staff at Battersea have just done for Scar. They've given him a new name, Scamp, and he's ready for a new life. He may have to wait a while, but Battersea's record suggests he will be adopted. Last year, it found new homes for more than 1,300 staffies. But the happy outcome for some shouldn't mask the fate of others, like Brandy.
We feel a certain amount of guilt, I think, in that perhaps we as a profession, or me as a person, an individual, has failed these dogs. But we've done everything we can, and the kennels have done everything they can, and the rescue associations have done everything they can.
So who has failed this dog?
I think society has failed the dog. But at the end of the day, it is the owner who should really bear this responsibility, because they're the ones that have let the dog down.
The only help Paul Manning can give this dog is a swift and painless end. It's now clinical waste to be incinerated at the end of the week. Just one more of unwanted dogs.
Tom Heap reporting there, and a consultation on whether new legislation is needed to deal with dogs and dog owners, started by the last government and carried on by this one, has now concluded. But there is no timetable yet on when ministers will actually receive its findings. We will keep you up to date on the Panorama website.